Coming up this week on the Blue and Gold Breakdown, the Pacers continue to roll. Fresh off his double-double Tuesday night, Luis Scola joins us to talk the win over Orlando. And just how high is the Pacers ceiling in the East? Luis will tell us if the Pacers see Thursday's opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks, as a team Indiana has in their crosshairs. And the voice of the Indiana Pacers, Mark Boyle, joins the show. He'll break down the Pacers' upcoming matchups with Milwaukee and Boston. All that and more coming up right now. Well, it's 3 straight blue and gold breakdowns now without an Indiana Pacers loss. Hello and welcome. Joining us now, he had a double-double last night, Luis Scola. Luis, you guys are playing some pretty good ball in the last few weeks. Yeah, we're playing well. We finally clicking. We play with more energy. We play with more confidence. We're moving better. We're passing the ball better. We're running better. And, everything that comes with it is going our way. They did all of that very well on Tuesday night against Orlando. Let's take a look at the highlights of the Indiana Pacers taking on the Orlando Magic. Rodney Stuckey really flourishing out of this sixth-man role for the Pacers. What a night he would have. First quarter, Stuckey a 3. Then it's Stuckey off the screen. He knocks it down and gets fouled, completed the three-point play. Second quarter now, same Rodney Stuckey off the screen, hits the 3. Stuckey had 25 in the first half, the most for a first half in his career. Third quarter now, other guys, they did score. Damo Rudez hits the 3 from the corner. He had 17, but Rodney Stuckey was not done stealing the spotlight off the save from Hill. Another 3 from Stuck. He finished with a season-high 34 points, and the Pacers went on to win in dominating fashion over Orlando, 118-86. Of course, the 118 points, it sticks out. It was the most that you guys have scored this season. But the other side of that is you guys have now held your last 6 opponents under 90 points and under 40% field goal percentage, which ties actually an NBA record since the merger in 76-77 with the ABA. What has allowed, I guess, both of these units to play so well kind of simultaneously? I don't know. Well, obviously, the fact that we got healthy makes a big impact on our team, no question about that. It took us a while, but it was only because the guys who've been out for a long time, they needed to get back in shape, get back in rhythm, and we kind of needed a little time to get to know each other and to get to know who plays well with who and what kind of combination of teams that we're going to have out there. It took us a little longer than we would like to take, but finally we're clicking and we're feeling much better. I know they're 2 different teams and it's tough to compare, but does it feel like that you guys defensively are playing basketball maybe on par with as well as you guys did last year during that stretch? I mean, statistically, at least lately, you are. I believe so. I believe we got the same tools to be the same type of team that we were last year. I strongly believe in that. And we got an advantage this year versus last year that is that we started so strong last year, but we didn't finish the year well, and we went to the playoff with a bad momentum. And this year, we didn't want to start bad, but we did, and now we're playing better, and we're going towards the last month of the competition in the best shape of the year, which is what you want to do. You want to finish strong versus starting strong. Of course, you don't want to lose on purpose early, and none of us wanted it to be 10 games or 12 games below 500. But since that happened, this is the right way to do, and it's a great thing now that it happened. And we cannot change what happened in the past, but it's a great thing that we are approaching to the playoffs with a playoffs position and also a much better momentum. And here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, you guys have lost just 1 game since February, and it was at the very end of the game to San Antonio, of course, the defending champions. Does it feel like you're kind of gaining that really significant home court advantage back here at Bankers Life? Yeah, but I just believe it's more related with the way we're playing. Doesn't matter where we play. We were going to win a lot of games. We want to be in a lot of games, and things like that are going to happen if we play the way we've been playing this last couple of weeks. It's just a matter of playing the right way, playing with the right energy, the right concentration, being prepared for the game, and do the right thing while you're on the court. And sometimes you're going to make more shots like yesterday, and sometimes you're going to miss a lot of shots. But when you play the right way, good things will happen. And even though you may lose some games and you may not be as effective down the line, and as long as the game goes, you end up winning more than you losing. You've got Milwaukee on Thursday, and I know every game at this point is extremely important as you get down the stretch, but is there maybe any more importance towards playing a team that you know, they're 4 games ahead of you. They're potentially catchable here down the road.
Well, it is more important for a few things. The first thing is that you can't control what the other team. We playing against Miami, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Milwaukee for standing. We can't control what they do, except for tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is the only time that you can actually force them to lose a game. When they play somebody else, there's nothing you can do but to watch on TV. So tomorrow is more important than usual because we get to win a game, but we provide them with a lose. So it's double. And the other very important thing about the game is a tiebreaker. We are 1-1 right now with them, and if we win, we are 2-1. We still got to play one more game, but at least we got the tie on the tiebreaker. And if you got the tiebreakers in a season like this season right now, that everything is so tight in terms of winners and losses, winners and losses, the tiebreaker could be 2 or 3 positions, 2 or 3 seats. So it's very important that we have all the tiebreakers we can get, and we are actually in a good situation with most of them. You know, with Charlotte, Miami, and with Brooklyn, with Milwaukee, if we win tomorrow.
All right, well, he's playing some of his best basketball as he has as a Pacer, a double-double last night. Luis Scola, congrats on this run you guys have had in your play as well, and best of luck on Thursday.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's Luis Scola. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, the voice of the Indiana Pacers, Mark Boyle, joins us on the Blue and Gold Breakdown. Pacers fans, every Tuesday home game for the remainder of the 2014-2015 season is 2 for Tuesday. That means select tickets for all Tuesday home games are buy one, get one free. The offer is only available on pacers.com/tickets. Be inside a Bankers Life Fieldhouse for the excitement that is Indiana Pacers basketball. And as promised, we are now joined by the radio voice of the Indiana Pacers, Mark Boyle. Mark, you're around the team really as much as anyone, I guess. Did you see a run? The Pacers have won 12 of their last 14. A run like this potentially coming?
Not necessarily. I thought they would do better with this stretch of schedule. It was very favorable in terms of home versus road, and guys were getting healthy. George Hill was back. So you could see the potential there for a nice run. But 12 out of 14, now you're talking 80+%. That's an extraordinary winning percentage. So to say that I saw that coming wouldn't be true, no.
Let's take a look at our Twitter question of the week. You can tweet me at Pat Boylan Pacers. We use your tweet on this show. You've got a chance to win tickets in this building for a future Pacers home game. And our tweet this week comes from Chris Munn, and he asks, Mark, can Rodney Stuckey win 6th Man of the Year? He's certainly been terrific in that role as of late, but he hasn't always been there, I guess, all season.
No, he does qualify statistically in that he will have played over half of his games from the bench, which is the minimal standard, and his play has been extraordinary lately. But he was a starter for a long stretch of games, and in fact, now that I think about it, he should get to the number where half of his games are off the bench, shouldn't he? What is the breakdown? He started about how many games? 30? 20? Anyway, I digress. His performance warrants consideration, but you've got some of the main standbys who are always there, like Jamal Crawford in Los Angeles, and the Pacers haven't been winning until lately. I think if you looked at it just in terms of his performance, especially lately, and how much of a factor he's been in this run, then he certainly warrants consideration. But the reality is probably that it came too late, and I doubt that he'll get enough consideration to win the award.
Small sample size, but you look at Pacers over the years. I mean, this at least run that Rodney's had as the 6th man in terms of other good Pacers off the bench, Jalen Rose, at times Detlef Schrempf probably. I mean, he's got to be playing as well as anyone.
Detlef Schrempf probably had the best run back in the early 90s. I think he won that award twice. He won it at least once, as I recall. So that would be, at least by Pacer standards, the benchmark. But the play of Stuckey lately has been right there with that. Detlef was a different kind of player. He was bigger, so he was a better rebounder. He was a better shooter. Although this season, Stuckey's shooting has been superb. Stuckey was more of a scorer, or is more of a scorer than Detlef was, a pure scorer. He's very strong, deceptively strong. Their games aren't similar, but their impact is. He comes off the bench. You count on him to score. He does score. And his play has really been impressive.
On Thursday, the Pacers take on the Milwaukee Bucks here inside of Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Mark, we look at their starting 5 now. When you look at Milwaukee, this is a team. Are they a little bit tough to judge where they are just because they made a significant move at the deadline and they've kind of struggled since they're 4-7 since trading Brandon Knight and bringing in Michael Carter-Williams?
And they've had injury issues too. Jabari Parker went down. That's huge. He was having an outstanding season as a rookie. And so they've had a lot of things to deal with in terms of personnel issues. Either guys not being available like Parker, guys being traded, guys coming in. So maybe, although that run that you said is 11 games, maybe they're starting to gel a little bit. But in theory, you might still be catching them at a pretty good time. Plus, they're on a back-to-back. So, and you're on the home floor where you've been great lately. It's another one of these games, and they're becoming increasing too, because the Pacers are playing so well. You look at almost any game on the home floor now, and you figure, if not we should win, then certainly we could win. And Milwaukee would be one of those. They're a nice team, and they've had a really good season, particularly by the standards of what was expected of them. But this is another game that the Pacers, I would think, should win. When
you've looked at the Pacers' ceiling for the playoffs over the last couple months, it's just kind of been generally assumed 7 is as high as they could go. Is there any rethinking there? They're 4 games behind Milwaukee in the 6th. Theoretically, if you were to beat them on Thursday night, is that perhaps a team that's also catchable now?
In theory. I think that's a little far down the road, though, to really focus on. Although if you did beat them on Thursday, then you'd have a 2-1 advantage in the season series with 1 to play. That's the first tiebreaker. That helps. Their lead on Indiana is not insurmountable, not by any means. But with a limited number of games to go, and as you say, 4 in the loss column, difficult, not impossible. But either way, whether it's 6, 7, or 8, the chances of getting into the playoffs now are really looking good.
Looking ahead to Saturday, the Pacers host the Boston Celtics, and this is another team that looks different because they made a recent acquisition at the trade deadline. For them, it's bringing in Isaiah Thomas, and it's given them a little bit different of a feel because Isaiah's been coming off the bench.
He's Stuckey-esque in that he can come in, he can impact the game right away. He's a scorer. That's what he does. He can score. A Nate Robinson type. Games aren't the same, but in and score. Stuckey in and score. That's what they do. They come off, and when they have it going, like Stuckey did the other night against Orlando, they don't only impact the game, they take the game over. And Isaiah Thomas is capable of doing that. He's a dynamic player off of their bench.
The voice of the Indiana Pacers, Mark Boyle. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
The Pacers and Bucks tip at 7 o'clock. You can hear the Kroger pregame show beginning at 6:30 on the Pacers Radio Network and 1070 The Fan here in Indianapolis. Tip at 7 o'clock between Pacers and Bucks. Then on Saturday, another 7 o'clock tip against the Boston Celtics. TV coverage as well on Fox Sports Indiana. For our guests, Luis Scola and Mark Boyle, I'm Pat Boylan. We'll see you next week on the Blue and Gold Breakdown.